tonight, lies, distorting facts, and failure to follow police procedure. That's what a former top cop sees in the body cam video of a Nye County deputy using deadly force against a man's dog. Contact 13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears first broke the story last week. Tonight, she explains how even those in law enforcement say more needs to be done to hold the deputy accountable.
Don't be vicious. Oh, don't do it, doggy. Don't do it, doggy. Stop it. Stop it.
Deputy John Toll's deadly shots fired at a family dog named Blue have become the shots heard round the world. Comments and concerns over the deputy's actions have come from as far as England and Australia. But for one man,
there's issues here that I'm very troubled with.
It hits very close to home.
What the heck is going on with this deputy?
Tony DeMeo is a former 3-term sheriff of Nye County. He's also a certified master police canine trainer.
The dog was coming to see what was going on. That's the dog's job. There's nothing in the dog's bark that's aggressive. It's not low. It's not an attack mode. I mean, basically the dog was just jogging up. You know, I can't imagine that this dog would have been a threat to the deputy.
You shot my dog? He's attacking me.
As for Deputy Toll's perception, DeMeo points to how many times his story changes as he talks to the dog owner, a sergeant, and a detective on the body cam video.
How many stories did he come up with in 7 minutes of an incident?
You shot my dog? He's attacking me.
1.
Well, he was barking and growling like he was coming to bite me.
2.
He's like coming full on at me, growling and snarling and down there trying to attack me.
3. And in this newly released report obtained by Contact 13, Deputy Toll writes, the dog began growling and showing teeth as it began running and charging towards me.
Is the deputy now lying to cover up the actions and try and justify what he did? Or does he have a distorted interpretation of the facts? Which is more troubling.
DeMeo is also troubled by what he calls a failure to follow proper police procedure when Toll responds to what turned out to be false panic alarms at Gary Miller's Pahrump home.
Cell 17, we got a phone number for inside the residence?
She had dispatch call into the residence. And if they didn't have the number, the alarm company had the number.
No one from the sheriff's office called into the residence, and Toll responds to an unknown situation alone, even though backup is on the way. He goes in with his gun drawn.
If he had his firearm in his holster, then he could have used other forms of less than lethal. He could have used a taser, could have used a baton to ward the dog off, could have used the OC spray. Could actually use verbal, no.
We questioned Nye County Sheriff Sharon Worley about why Deputy Toll didn't do any of that.
He rapped on the door gently to try to get somebody to come to the door. And then he stood back while the dog heard him. But he didn't want to give away his position, so he didn't speak real loud to the dog.
DeMeo says Deputy Toll's actions make him a possible threat to people, too, and says the department's internal investigation leaves much to be desired.
Issues weren't taken care of properly, and they were just pushed aside. I think in this case, they didn't expect this type of attention. And now they're playing catch-up because the investigation was not done properly.
Cell 17, shots fired, shots fired.
The sheriff's office closed and then reopened and expanded its investigation after our reports began airing. We're still waiting for a final resolution. Darcy Spears, 13 Action News.